The amount of media being consumed by teenagers is at an all-time high, and the way women are portrayed in the media is unacceptable. It is influencing the way young people think and treat women. If we try and change how women are viewed, then they wouldn't be stereotyped and be shown as just as equal to men. Helen Flanagan, actress and model, appeared on the popular TV show I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of There in 2012. She was always seen as the eye candy, and the large majority of the press about the show involved her, and usually in a bikini. Tabloids were focused on parts of her rather than what she had done. If tabloids have the chance to print something off about a woman in a sexual way, they will, even if there's no actual story behind the picture. Something that is common to see in tabloids is how a certain celebrity is dressed and if they're showing too much leg or too much boob. This reinforces how women are treated within the media. This shows women as objects and that sex sells. A lot of print adverts use the fact that sex sells to sell their product even if it has nothing to do with their product, therefore using the woman. Women are either not wearing too much, posed or doing something in a very sexual manner, or doing something that enhances the woman's stereotype. Even in TV adverts, women are portrayed negatively, not showing what women can achieve. An attractive woman is put in some adverts just to attract women in the hope of buying the product, as well as wanting similar lifestyles and think that the product will bring it. Having this exposed to young minds gets people into the mindset of having to look and be a certain way.
Has never been hotter.
Tell me you did not replace our old lifeguards with strippers.
Gender stereotypes is also very common within advertising, trying to reach out to a male audience, but this could influence young males and think that this is a woman's role in society when it isn't. Sex objects is a very dominant stereotype, but here is the public's opinions on what the dominant stereotype is and why.
I think a lot of people, especially in the media, women have got a lot of pressure to be quite pretty. Like you've got the size 0 models and that kind of thing. There's a lot of pressure for them to be seen as beautiful. And then there's a different stereotype where people think women are like housewives, so they stay indoors. So it doesn't really make sense if you think about it.
Well, I don't really think that it's a housewife
Yeah,
anymore.
I think society's changed a lot, so there's not that sort of pressure to be like a mom and a housewife. I think.
But it is more of a sex symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Like instead of being submissive, being powerful, being seen as they're themselves, and that they're not getting led on by men.
Well, in the media today, I'd probably say that the dominant stereotype of a woman is mainly to be like a housewife or there to look pretty, I suppose.
To be honest, I think now in this society, that kind of weighted stereotype of a woman has kind of hit a more level playing field. I think women now are viewed a lot more equally with men than they were perhaps, say, 10, 20 years ago.
Reality TV shows, like my mum watches the Real Housewives of Orange County and stuff like that, and you look at them and you can see where people get the dominant stereotypes, I suppose.
Women have come a long way from being stuck in the kitchen in the 60s and have developed their own identity.
You have a lot of sort of celebrities that sort of do that, and people try to admire to be like them or sort of things like that. So,
yeah, and sex sells.
There you go.
Exactly, I don't think Rihanna would be where she is if she wasn't so raunchy.
There's a lot more equality now. You don't get so much racism, you don't get so much sexism, and I just think on that basis, as society has moved on, I think that stereotype has too.
Advertising for men is sort of revolved around the idea that if they use whatever product, they can get women, and so the women in those ads are quite beautiful.
Women are clearly unequal within the media, and this could clearly be seen through film and TV. Even though there are films and programs that show women in a good light, the majority don't. A lot of TV and film try to play off the gender stereotype and have the women being undermined to some degree. References to women being objects are also mentioned.
What are we, friends now or something?
Look, say you haven't got any more.
200 quid in the cafe by midday, otherwise me and little wifey will be having a little chat.
You wouldn't dare.
Watch me. 12 o'clock.
Also, women don't have the equal screen time as 68.5% of primetime comedies are male speakers. The way women are treated shouldn't be so acceptable in society the way that it is. But is this acceptable and why? We investigated this and we wanted to know what people wanted to change.
I think that there's no reason why a guy couldn't do the same jobs that a woman could do, and I think it's the same principle for the woman can do as well as the man can do. Of course, there's always going to be different areas that people are better at, so maybe like heavy lifting and stuff like that. If you're going to have a builder, you're probably going to want a bloke possibly than maybe instead of a female model or something like that, because that's just common sense, but it just depends on the industry, I think.
I think that it's not a conscious decision of why people pick kind of male roles as like presenters in radio. I think it's just probably Nick Grimshaw gets the best listenership, Chris Evans gets the best audience figures, Greg James does, so kind of naturally going to go with that. I think you've got to be important not to mix up equality within employability and making sure you've got the right kind of like you mean audience needs.
Yeah, it is acceptable. Everyone has their own right to be who they want.
Because it's been normalised.
Yeah.
Like because celebrities are seen like that and viewed like that, it becomes like normal in society.
Not particularly, especially for like younger girls in this generation growing up and seeing all these images and seeing, oh, that's what I should look like, that's the way I should dress and everything. I don't think that's a good example, really.
In my opinion, yeah, I think it is. I think it's, like I said, it's a very level playing field. And I think if a woman wants to get into the media or anything like that, it's achievable nowadays. I don't think there's so many boundaries.
No, of course not. No. I prefer someone who follows their own path instead of just being told what to do or being looked down on by another sex, really.
Yeah, I think there should be more balance. Like, different women should be shown in different adverts, so there's a much more sort of rounded idea of women in the media.
I don't think stereotypes in general are acceptable, to be fair. I think, like I said earlier on, the stereotype of equality, what most people kind of like produce, not in like generally in the media, you've got your human resources and there's whole departments of media companies that focus on making sure that everyone's represented fairly, and you've got different legislations about employability. So I think that nobody really makes a conscious decision anymore. People and their roles are generally selected on whether or not they fit the needs of the programme, whether or not they're creating good audience figures, and whether or not they're bringing home the bacon for the companies.
Probably equal them out a bit, so yeah, because like men are always seem to be good, I suppose, and women are always seen to be, well, you always have to look nice and stuff, I guess.
With loads of young people listening to music and being fans of artists, the music videos are also very popular. A common occurrence in music video is the way women dance, act and portray as sex objects. The technique of sex sells is very much apparent. Women dance and move in a very sexual way, which can only show that they are trying to promote the song.
All these chicks poppin' pussy, I'm just poppin' bang. Bands that make her dance.
Turn it up cause it's getting heavy. Wild, wild, West Coast. These are the girls I love the most.
Most media makers are male and are clearly targeting a male audience with how women are used. It is obvious that they are trying to use the women as they are close-ups of women shaking and dancing provocatively. This is what young minds are exposed to and are growing up thinking that this is how women are and should be. This is a major issue which should be addressed. The media is being consumed at an all-time high, and it is affecting how women are viewed and treated in society. Women shouldn't be treated by their gender or as sex objects. There are some women who are influential with what they say and do in life. In this case, American Fawn Germer, who is a leadership speaker and author, is a popular woman in the media. She inspires others and is a good role model. Here is something inspirational she said.
The point is that you will always get more by being who you are, by letting go of the facade that we think we have to maintain by being successful, responsible, professional women. You still have that core, successful part of you that is you. So embrace that, find that, mine it.